good for that, I guess, apparently.
I was gonna say.
Joe Short himself is known for his mustaches, so I had 2 in the fridge to go by. If I finish this one, I might go get the other one. I don't know.
There you go.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
What up, 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 what up?
Happy Movember.
Yes.
You got a stash going? Oh, you got a...
I got the go free or die.
the baby stash.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is awesome. There's like this weird like yeast cascading thing that there's no way I'm sure that you guys can see or capture, but in the light, it's fucking awesome. It's like watching a lava lamp going on inside this thing. It's crazy. So what'd you guys end up bringing? We're doing the mustache beer week. Chris came up with the idea last week, so I think I'll let Chris go first since
I think so.
I did not get extravagant with this. I just went in my cellar and said, all right, what do I got? And so I picked up a beer where a guy has got a beard on this thing. This is Arbor Brewing Company's, what is this, Fig Jam Quad Ale brewed with figs. This is a 2014. It was sitting in my cellar that I wanted to get rid of. But as you can see, the guy on there has got a little bit of a beard going on. See him there?
There you go.
He's got a hairy lip. He's got a hairy lip. That counts.
He's got the hipster. I have an iPhone and I've got a big beard and mustache and work at Jiffy Lube.
All right. Well, I don't work at Jiffy Lube, but shut up.
No, shut up.
What's up, Dan? What do you got drinking there? You said you found one actually.
Well, I did. I didn't realize it was. It's been in the fridge for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'll bet that might actually have a mustache on it. And sure enough, it actually is a twofer. This is the goddamn toffee pigeon porter from Spiteful. But if you look at this pigeon right here, it actually has a pigeon mustache and beard. And then there's a guy down here with a mustache and beard. So I was like, pigeon with a mustache has got to count for something.
Hold that up again. Is that... can you say something so it switches to you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. The guy in the bottom would kind of his hair looked like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead.
No, I mean a lot of the label art is very much in that sort of style in terms of the cartooning, but no, I don't think that that's related to the show at all. But man, I love this beer. I was so happy to find it was still around.
That's cool. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of those pigeon porters now on the shelves, like all times now at this point. I don't think there's ever a time where there's not one version of it out now, so it's kind of cool. That's one of your faves.
Yeah.
I went with what I had in the fridge, which I stocked up on shorts about 2 weeks ago, and I still have a shit ton. So I went with the Yosemite Scooter. It's an American Pale Ale. Just says bang, bang, bang on it. That's the only description that it gives.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, that is a big friggin' mustache right there.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I've got plenty of Space Rocks still, so I'm probably gonna have one of those after this guy's gone, because that has Joe Short and his famous mustache. So I was gonna go with that, but I thought this one was more appropriate. This is really good though. There's a lot of like floating around yeast in here, and I don't know what this reminds me of. I know you're gonna hate this, but it kind of reminds me of Oberon a little bit.
Sorry.
No, it's kind of like got a wheat-y, not weedy. The other beer I'll be bringing has a weedy. This one's wheaty.
Hey, is that one dry hop by any chance? Because that might not be yeast. That might be like hop particulates floating around in there. Because usually yeast flocks out. So.
Talk amongst yourselves while I look it up. I don't know, but did you say dry hopped, or is that what you asked?
Mm-hmm.
Dry, yeah.
Yeah, because then they're dumping a whole bunch of crap into the fermenter before that secondary before it gets bottled, and sometimes that stuff stays behind. Like I remember, Founders has a dry hop pale, and there's all sorts of crap floating around in that. It's a good beer, but it's definitely not what you'd call crystal clear. But I don't think it's yeast. I think it's the hops.
Let's see. It's a seasonal. Yosemite Scooter is a lighter-bodied American pale ale with a dirty blonde color and delightful aromas. A bright, zesty orange, mango, and rich, sticky hops. Excellent hop flavors of citrus fruit and berries blast across the palate, along with a mild earthiness. Succeeded by a moderate bitterness, the beer has a lingering fruit, rind-like quality with traces of pine. I don't see anything as far as like how they make it or.
No, although when they say, when they kind of highlight the aromas, a lot of times your dry hopping is where you're getting the big aromatic hit off of a beer like that. So it wouldn't surprise me, but it might not be either. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But I came across a really funny website off of Facebook through Facebook today. For anyone who's ever wondering whether they're going to waste a trip to Three Floyds and score themselves some zombie dust, there's a new website out. www.doesfloydshavezombie.com, and you go on there and it'll say yes or no. I'm on it right now and it says big fat no. You can add your email to be notified when Three Floyds has zombie dust.
What's the URL again?
Doesfloydshavezombie.com.
Oh, have zombie. Okay, I put now. Floyd's FL. Oh, I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Interchange the letters there.
Don't.
No. I do not.
No. I thought that was kind of funny. That beer is that important that someone had to make that site.
Oh, shit.
I love this site already. Oh man.
So yeah, there's some more Bourbon County news. They're doing like a big old. There's 4 sessions. I guess they're doing an event on Black Friday now where they're. I think I got an email about it, so I could just give the details to make sure I don't fuck it up. But yeah, they're doing for $75 you can get a ticket, and you'll go through a brewer-led tasting of all this year's releases: the regular standard Bourbon County Stout, the Bourbon County Coffee Stout, Bourbon County Barley Wine, Bourbon County Regal Rye, Proprietors, and the Rare. You also get a snifter for this year's Bourbon County, and also you get to take home a bottle of Proprietors. That's pretty sweet. $75, that's not too bad. Just sucks that it always lands on a day that I can't make it. Otherwise, that's one I would actually try to do. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work something with my wife. We'll see if we can get something, a deal going or something. But what are you guys doing? Dan, we're going for bourbon in the morning on Black Friday. Is there any events in Michigan for that, or anything that goes on at any other breweries up in Michigan, Chris?
Nah, not that I know of. I usually just roll in from the holidays that are on Black Friday for my in-laws on the eastern part of the state, and roll into Battle Creek and just roll up to my beer store and end up getting like one of the last, 4 packs or whatever of BCBS. So that's the extent of me doing it. It's nothing really all that exciting. I'm pretty lame when it comes to that one. So.
Well, I mean, that's smart because you're not staying in the cold, so there's nothing lame about that.
Right. Yeah.
Especially as we got to get up earlier and earlier every year in Chicago for this shit.
Yeah, although hopefully this year it'll be a little bit warmer. I mean, it's looking like if it stays like it is now, it might not be too bad, but I'm not counting on that.
3 weeks away, sir. 3 weeks. It's going to get cold. I don't care if it gets cold. I got a much warmer coat now than I did last year. I froze my ass off last year.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So I'm prepared to be there before the sun's up, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm bringing a folding chair this year too.
Yeah, that's a good idea as well. I just I got to get there early because I got to make sure I'm one of the first ones in so I can get out of there because I got a bunch of shit to do later that day. So that's my main. I mean, I don't care if I, ended up not really getting my hands on every. From what I understand, the one in Lincoln Park actually, the Bennies in Lincoln Park kind of explained already the allotments that you're gonna get. Oh fuck, I forget what it was though, but it was like pretty strict. Like you get your option to buy like the standard and then one, I think, variant.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I could be butchering that, so I don't know if it's that far off, but I remember thinking it was pretty lame. You know, like I thought maybe you'd get more.
Which one of you live near O'Hare?
I do.
I can hear that.
I was gonna say that was like
it's like coming in overhead.
Delta Alpha 372. We have Vector 7 on runway G6 over.
Roger, dumping toilet. No.
The funny thing is, I don't even notice it anymore.
I heard that one. Jesus.
Yeah, I did too.
I swear I saw your pictures moving on the wall.
Actually, apropos to Black Friday, I just put this up in the comments if either of you want to check it out. But 18th Street is having a Black Friday release for their Hunter Bourbon Barrel release. And I've had the straight up Hunter Bourbon or the Hunter Stout without the Bourbon Barrel.
Oh, it wouldn't be an episode if Dan didn't lose his microphone.
And I'll drop my connection here shortly, probably too. And you know the weird thing is, I'll use my computer all week, and then when I go on a hangout with you guys, it like drops the connection.
That's pretty much mine as well, because I'll be like right about to start the show, and then Google's like, "You got an update," and then I have to update it, and then I've got to restart the computer, and then it's a whole bunch of fun. So if I don't remember to check that, like right after I'm done with work, I'm busy up until the point I'm starting the show, so I always forget, and then I'm like, fuck.
Right.
But, oh, your mic just got really clear.
Mine?
Yeah, did you do something? It sounds
no.
Good.
Yours did too. Yours did something wacky too. I don't know. Right before you said that, so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. So what's new in Michigan, man? Any releases or any beers that you're? Well, the Bastard's out, isn't it? The bourbon barreled.
Yep, and I had that last week with you guys on the show.
Oh,
The New Holland flavors, the raspberry chipotle pepper or whatever it is, pepper one, and then the triple mash and the coffee chocolate variants. And I only got the chocolate coffee and the mash.
That one was good.
Yeah, it was triple mash needs to sit. Coffee chocolate was good. So
Dan had some good friends to run out there and bring him some. So he's got the variants too.
Okay.
Little bastard.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I did see a couple of the barrel aged versions of the Old Rasputin now are out. They got the rye and the bourbon barreled.
Oh, really? See,
yeah.
We don't. That's the weird thing is a lot of these breweries will get at my beer store. We get like their normal stuff a lot of times, but we don't get that little special release. Like Dogfish, I think gets pissed because they never sell anything here. Well, it's because they don't ever bring anything enough to Michigan. Their normal shit sits on the shelf all the time, 90-minute, 60-minute, and just sits there. And we don't get any of their fancy stuff. We'll get Positive Contact and Bitches Brew, and then what's the one that's like wine, grape musk or something? There's musks in it.
I know which one you're talking about. Is it the black and blue?
Yeah, something like that.
Blue and red,
yeah, they just don't move those at all, and then they wonder why they don't sell any in Michigan. I'm like, well, you guys don't give us anything that's extravagant,
Bitches Brew though, that shit's good. I probably have. I got 2 bottles in the cellar, one from last year and one from this year. That stuff's great. And I remember Skylar having like a 2-year-old bottle of that one once on the show, and he said it was amazing. So
I think I've got a year-old one, and I had the original release. That's when I did my beer review of it. And then they took a break from brewing it, or at least distributing it, maybe. And then I've maybe had 2 bottles. The one I got in there now is either 2014 or 2013. And Positive Contact we can get all the time too, and that's kind of cool. It's like a cidery beer, kind of a weird hybrid cider.
Yeah, I don't think I had that one. Oh, I did want to update you. I was going to text you, but I figured you might, if I saw you on the show, I'd just let you know here. So I bought 2 of those Mischievous from New Holland that you were asking about.
Yeah. The Brett beers, yeah.
Yeah. So one, I'm taking them out of the car after my trip home from work, and I'm picking up the bag, and one of them just crashes into the other one inside the bag.
Oh.
As I'm trying to like maneuver stuff and move things, I slice my finger open, and I'm dealing with my wife's car just reeks of Britannomyces. It's just like you get in, and I'm like, I just hope I don't get pulled over today. Like it just would not turn out well.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it.
Did you like suck any out of the carpet or anything? Just to see
no, and I'm glad I didn't because it's not really that great. I don't know if it's got to sit. So I would say my verdict is buy one and stock it away and let it cook a little bit in the bottle, because it's pretty bland. Like as far as the bottle that I opened, I was like, well, I might as well taste it and see if I need to buy more, because it's only like $5-6 for a bottle, so it's not bad, and they do great sours normally. So. I don't know. It could have been a bad bottle. It had more of like a metallic taste to it, and I don't know what causes that. But it was kind of an off-putting. My wife felt the same way about it, so I knew it wasn't just me. It was either could have been a bad bottle, but I'd be willing to buy another one and throw it in the cellar though.
And that's what I've got mine sitting. So that's good. Good to know.
Dan, before you jump back on. Chris was going on about the New Holland dragon milk variants, and you got your hands on some. Which ones did you try so far?
Actually, I did get my hands on all of them. I had a taste of the coffee chocolate. Last night I actually cracked open the dragon or the Smog's Breath. Actually, I like the Smog's Breath better than I like the coffee chocolate. Although the coffee chocolate was good.
What the hell's a Smog's Breath?
Yeah,
that's the roasted peppers.
Oh.
Roasted chilies?
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
And then I got I got a 4-pack of the raspberry and a 4-pack of the triple mash.
Triple mash?
Yeah, baby. So the triple mash is going to be sitting around, calming its ass down.
Have one now, just so you see what it tastes like, and let the other 3 sit.
Okay. And then the raspberry.
I mean, right now. No, just kidding.
No. Not happening.
Does the dragon have a mustache? Because if it does,
Good point.
I was thinking of going there, but
it's actually called triple stash.
Triple stash. That's right. It's a 3-headed dragon, and each one has a mustache on it. It's awesome. But yeah, no, I ended up getting a little bit of all of them now. But the only 2 that I've cracked, or someone's cracked open and I've tasted, have been those 2. But I did have the raspberry last year. It sounds like because the friends who were over in Holland over the weekend, did the flight of the variants while they were at the brewery, or at the brew pub, I should say. And they were saying that the raspberry didn't have as much raspberry character this year as it did last year. That was kind of disappointing, because that was I really enjoyed last year's version of that beer. So I'm hoping that it's better than they say.
Okay.
But
what do they think of the triple mash?
They thought it was well, at least of the 2 of them, because husband and wife, she had a bad experience with whiskey, and she was like, "That's just too damn much whiskey character for me." And it was like, yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, I thought it was fine, but it's something that you probably want to let sit for a while. It needs to calm down a little bit.
What about it needs to sit? Like, is it what in the flavor makes you say that? Because you both say it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, definitely, Chris, what do you think of that? Because I haven't tasted it yet. I couldn't say.
It was cold. It was thick sweetness. You don't get as much of the bourbon and booze, but as it warmed, it became like real boozy. So it just tasted like a young boozy beer.
Just too hot.
Yeah, and it just was really just thicky sweet. Like I remember calling it, I think I called it on your show last week. I said it was like almost like a port wine. It was just like that.
Yeah, you did say that.
Not tart or any sweet like a fruit, but just maybe dark fruit sweet or something like that, but just sticky sweet, and it just needs to sit and mature a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've got one more. I think I may put that one in the. I've got 3 more actually, but one is cold. I was gonna drink 2 now and age 2, but I may take that 3rd one and throw it in the aging too. So.
And I've got all 4 sitting down there right now. But actually today I picked up the Backwoods Bastard, so I've got 4 of those now that just went in the fridge, which is that I'm looking forward to.
That one needs to say, yeah.
Now I was going to say because for a minute I misremembered this week's episode as being a barley wine episode because I think Mike had suggested that possibly, and so I pulled up my Central Waters 2014 barrel-aged Brewers Reserve barley wine, which is supposed to be amazing. But, you know, that didn't happen. So
I got a Sukaba. I got a couple Sukabas I could open up for that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got one of those. That's a good beer. That's a really good beer.
I got a 13 and a 14. I got a, or no, maybe it's 14, 15. I can't remember. But I just picked up the...
no, it'd be 13, 14 because it hasn't come out yet this year, I don't think. No, maybe it did.
I forget it. I thought it was in January.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, you're right. It's either December and... Because I know that Parabola comes after it. And Parabola is, in, you know, that.
I always miss Parabola. I always miss it.
That always goes so damn fast.
Firewalker freaking issues. We don't get that here, guys. Come on.
You not really? Not even like at the big store that you sent Dan to. You don't have that there.
They don't. I don't think they distribute it to Michigan.
Get out of here,
man. They figure you guys have enough beer already.
No, man, we get some trading going because I'll send some your way. We get even their standard stuff's amazing.
Oh God, yeah.
Their Pivo Pills is fucking great. The
Union Jack is awesome.
Union Jack. I mean, everything's great.
Oh, the Wookiee.
Union Jack and Double Jack. I haven't had Wookiee.
Wookiee Jack
is great.
Yeah, that's a fantastic beer.
And that's not too. That's always around. I mean, that's around quite a bit. Like I know that's a seasonal, but it feels like a long season when that's around.
Well, and at a certain point, they because it was only Bombers for the longest time. I think they started putting that in like a 4-pack of 12 ounces too, which is kind of nice because that's a big enough beer that 12 ounces at a time ain't a bad way to go. So.
Yeah, I was waiting for like a month and a half for the Velvet Merkin to finally show up here. It was like released in California like in September, and they just got it this Tuesday. So I got myself a bottle of that, and then grabbed one of their sours from the Barrel Works program that they do called the Agrestic. It's like an American sour. I've never had that one, but it's cork and cage. So I was like, because I came in there for the Velvet Merkin, and I was like, you got anything else worth mentioning? He's like, yeah. He's like, I got another Firestone Walker. He's like, I got the Agrestic if you like sours. I'm like, yeah, how much? He's like, $12. So it was like one bottle. It was like a 13 point something ounce bottle for $12.
Yeah, how much was the Velvet Merkin this time around? Was it like 15, 16, 17?
Yeah, it's 15, I think.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No. So, yeah. So, yeah, dude, I'll definitely make sure we put something together for you. What other breweries are pretty prominent that you don't get much of in Michigan?
We don't get any of those. Do we get?
We
don't get any of the Fort Collins stuff. If you're into Odell or Fort Collins, I don't think we get that. We do get.
We don't get Odell.
I was gonna ask you about Oscar Blues. Do you get them?
Yeah. The problem is that I can go to a couple places here in Battle Creek, and if somebody wants a nicely aged 1050, I can get you a 2013 can still on the shelf, and just no one touches it. They don't even know what that is.
Hey, and you know what's not bad is it's in a can, so it's not like it's gonna go bad or the light's gonna damage it. Right?
Yeah.
I got like a 2-pack of 1050. I got 2 13s. I think. Gotta be 13s. Right
I'm
now.
always looking for Gubner though. When Gubner comes out, I grab the crap out of that.
Yeah, I just saw that. That's the Imperial.
IPA.
Red. Right, it's an Imperial IPA. That's right.
Yeah.
Which one's the red? That's the.
Oh, Good Night.
Oh, that's it.
Good night.
I love that beer. I can drink the hell out of that too. I have drank the hell out of that.
There aren't many that you guys probably get that we don't, other than Well, I know I take that back. There are some because when I've got a Benny's, I like flip out and I
Dude, you
like.
gotta go to Benny's now. It's like the one that near where I work. It's ridiculous. Like they have more shit than any other Benny's that I've been to besides in the city itself. And I'll bet you anything. I mean, like Prairie's probably one that you don't get much of.
Maine, I've gotten a bottle of Maine out there, Maine Brewing Company. When I was out there, I'm trying to think what else.
Oh, is that the one with the pretty simple labels with like a little smiley face and?
Yep, I got one of the. I don't remember which one I got. But they're little bottles. They're not.
Yeah.
They're those. What are those?
Like 500 milliliter bottles or
Yeah,
something
something
like
like that.
that.
Bigger than 12s and smaller than bombers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get any of the. I don't know if you guys get it. Any of the. Oh no, we do. We don't get McKellar, but we get the other one, Evil
Oh,
Twin,
Evil Twin.
which is
Right.
expensive as shit.
Yeah, they always are. They're here too. They're expensive.
Yeah.
What else don't we get? We don't get any of AleSmith.
We
No,
just started getting
no.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that barley wine of theirs. I put one of those in the cellar just the other week.
And so when I say we don't get it, I'm not. I know there are Detroit beer stores that do get it, or not. I don't say get it, but get some stuff that we don't see at all over here. So I think there's some distribution in Michigan of some of these breweries, but man, they don't distribute very much. And I think part of that problem is, I think Dan alluded to it, and I think that's why Dogfish had pulled out of Michigan at one point and came back, is that it's a competitive, market in Michigan. I mean, we've already got it flooded with our own breweries, and you're going to try to come in here and drop something on us, that we may or may not take onto it. So the big whales are usually gone a lot of places. 120 gone instantly when it comes out to whoever gets it. Even the Founders beers, obviously, when they have KBS, CBS, if CBS were to come out again, I predict that's the next one of the next ones this next year is CBS. So
I hope so. Oh, I want that.
When is KBS Day? Is that in March?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta participate in that this year. I think that they were doing an awesome little thing. Like they were doing like partnerships with like hotels out there, so that like you had like founder bags of like little tchotchkes waiting in your room, and you've got
really? Like swag and stuff, huh?
Yeah, it was. There was so many cool things going on in Grand Rapids for that whole weekend. If not the whole week, it was crazy. So I might, but I think I'm still gonna have to do that winter beer fest again. That was fun.
Okay, if you're going again, that's good because I was planning on it too.
So I talked to my buddy, by the way, Dan, about the
Great Taste.
Yeah. And I had sent him that link last week when we were talking offline.
Yeah.
And I talked to him like midweek or something like that, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I saw your link. I don't know. I'm just not really impressed by some of the stuff on there." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I didn't look like any of the breweries were bringing any beer. So I'm like, and he's a Chicago guy. His favorite beer is Bourbon County Stout. And I said, dude, there were like 5 different Bourbon County Stouts in the barley wine. And he's like, there was? And I'm like, yeah, didn't you look at it? He's like, I didn't see that. And I'm like, and me, I'm not a Bell's fan, but they had like every variant of batch whatever back to 2000, like 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Those are amazing. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know you're not a big Bell's guy, but those are.
No, but I'm not. Bell's does make some great beers. The big whales, they make pretty good. And so I said to him, "Did you didn't see those either?" He goes, "I didn't see Bell's or Bourbon County or Goose Island on there." And I'm like, "Dude, go back and look at that because I think that's better than Beer Camp." He thinks Beer Camp's going to come back to Chicago. I honestly think that they're going to try to mix it up and go like Milwaukee or St. Louis or Indianapolis or something like that.
If they do, pick a different venue. Like Navy Pier is just a weird. That just seems awkward to me.
My buddy loved it there because he thought it was awesome because we were just standing at the end of the pier, just like drinking, sitting on the lake. It was kind of cool. And I think that's he's used to being on the lake. He would be out there on his boat and stuff like that, the speedboat and stuff. And,
I get that. That's cool. I remember back like when I was like into craft beer like in the like 90s or whatever. It was like they used to do right around Navy Pier. They would drive a boat around there, and it was the Chicago Beer Society's Blues Brews cruise or something like that. They had like they had this amazing little boat with two levels, and there were taps on both the top and the bottom, and they had like a huge barbecue buffet. They had like an entire pig like roasted, and then they like were making the most amazing food, and then they had a blues band playing. They stopped doing it for like after that year that I did it, and it was like I really wish they kept doing that, because that was really, really cool. Because like being on the water and drinking beer, that just goes hand in hand. I agree with your buddy on that when it comes to the pier. That has got to be kind of cool, but it's just a weird. It's a weird area because it's already so crowded for just regular tourist traffic, and now you're gonna throw in like all the craft beer nerds in Chicago and everyone.
They wouldn't let anybody pass a certain point unless you had tickets. So you didn't even get to the end of the pier unless you had a ticket to get in there. So once you got in there, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was like our Winter Beer Fest here. It was spacious enough to where you could walk around and not be like elbow to elbow with people.
That's good.
A few food trucks. But then the walk back, once you got out of the venue, and then it was like you were walking with all the other people, and you had to walk all the way back to get, a taxi or whatever, and that was kind of a pain.
That's the part that would suck, because that area is so full.
Yeah, there was a lot. I remember we were waiting for a while to get a taxi to come over and pick us up, and we were trying to get near Lakeshore Drive, and it was a pain a little bit. So, and you're tipsy, and you're like making sure you don't walk out into traffic because you're like,
It's like, welcome to Chicago.
What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, man. I was just about to get up and grab my next mustache beer. I almost said beard.
2 mustache beers?
Yeah, I actually have 2 in the fridge without even trying. I didn't even have to go to the store this week.
Really?
Yeah, I had this guy with the big old Yosemite Sam mustache, and then I'm gonna have the other one. I'll show you in a second. What do you? What's up?
I can't believe you had 2 in the fridge without even thinking about it.
I knew not to try. It was there before we picked the style last week.
Unbelievable.
What do you have?
Well, I did the same thing where I didn't get a chance actually to go out and get one with a mustache. So I was looking in the fridge, and I didn't think I was going to find anything. I actually found something with a mustache. It was a pumpkin beer with a mustache, and I got it out and then realized I don't really want this. I said I'm gonna go off theme. So I brought the Odd Side El Dancarino.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Nice.
Big Lebowski beer.
I was gonna say, what I didn't. So here's the thing. We bought it obviously when we were in Michigan. 10 days ago, and we watched The Big Lebowski while we were in Michigan before I'd ever seen this or heard of it. Because Aaron had never seen it, and we wanted to watch a comedy, and it's short, and so we watched it, and then the next day we go out, and there's a Big Lebowski themed beer. Just wait for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did your wife like the movie?
Yes, she did.
That's good. My brother hates that movie with a passion.
What?
Yeah.
How can you hate that movie? That's like hating E.T. You can't.
There's nothing funny with that movie at all. The only part he laughs is when Donnie dumps the ashes and it blows right in his face. I mean, that's just the funniest shit ever.
I was gonna say that I've watched bits and pieces of that movie, but finally, because a coworker at work is, this movie's so funny, and all right, I'm gonna sit down and watch this one day. So I sat and watched the whole thing, and it got to the end, and I was like, wait, this is the end? And so I didn't like how it ended. It was just
it did that to me the first time I watched it too. I had the same that ended kind of weird.
Yeah.
I thought, having watched it a few times now, I like it better. It doesn't surprise me as much, or not surprise, but kind of like throw me off. Like, wait, I wasn't expecting that to happen like that.
Yeah, right. I totally get that. I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for this big build. It seemed like a kind of a build-up, like something epic was going to happen, and then it was like, that's the end. And you're like, okay, I'm going to turn you off and go back to life.
So what style is that beer, Kev?
Imperial IPA.
Nice. You got it in the glass yet?
Yep. Oh, it's actually very cloudy. That's not the. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can't see through it. It's not like what's the other one I have here? The Lagunitas Sucks, where you can you could read a book from the other side of the glass.
Yeah. That's a good beer. Do you have you got that one of the bombers or not the bomber, but what is that? I forget.
No, this is just the standard shaker pint. This isn't one of the the shaped
No, I mean the sucks, because I know they're doing like 6-packs now, and they're doing
Oh no, I got
a bigger bottle.
6-pack.
Cool. I'm gonna go get my second beer. I'll let you guys talk.
Cool.
All right. So, I don't know. I was actually, when you brought up, or when someone brought up The Dude Abides, for some reason my brain went to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I don't know if either of you saw that movie.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a funny action comedy, and kind of whodunit. But it was directed by the same guy who did oh God, what was Mel Gibson in that series of like 4 movies? Lethal Weapon, not Lethal Weapon, was it? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
okay, where he's like he plays the cop.
Yeah.
So that's the guy who directed and I think wrote the film. And
Okay.
it's got let's see, it's got Downey Jr. in it as one of the protagonists. It has Val Kilmer as a gay private detective, and it's warped and it's hilarious and it's action packed and it's got maybe the highest number of F-bombs per frame of any movie ever made. It's spectacular, but it was one of those movies that was overlooked. So check it out if you get a chance. But it's good stuff. So I don't know. There he is. Oh, he's being very quiet. Ow.
Well, I said his headphones back in.
What's up?
What up?
Sounded so
Sure.
serious. We're waiting for him to say something.
Oh. So here's my second mustache beer. It is Joe Short on a snowmobile in outer space.
Oh, okay, I've had that one.
His the license plate says "Because aliens exist." This is actually a gluten-free beer, and it is an American pale ale hopped with some tasty little nuggets of alien technology, which I really think is weed because
That's like what, space rocks or space nuggets or something like that.
space rock.
I like space nuggets though.
I do too. That actually sounds like a strain of weed, actually.
You're drinking space nuggets.
But it, man, this is like the most marijuana-smelling beer I've ever had in my entire life. It's insane.
I swear, when you opened it, I swear I heard Cypress Hill playing.
I mean, come on. What are you doing?
Dude, we could hear you sniffing. It's like.
I actually thought I heard a bong hit too.
Yeah, this one's nice and cloudy too. It's good. It's so good though. Now, Chris, do you know? Did they always make this gluten free, or because they made it a point to mention that it's on.
Where's it on the label? Because I don't remember seeing that. Can you show it?
Yeah. It's like
that's the thing. I've never seen until you showed that last week. I've never seen that seal on the label before.
I had that in August, and I don't remember seeing that.
I don't think all the batches are. Yeah.
So, well, it is actually. They said that I guess in order to label your beer that way, you have to. I don't know. There's something legally you have to do, and they were always doing it anyways. They just never had it on the bottle. But now that.
Hold on, the red eye from Indianapolis is
I
flying
was
in.
going to say the space shuttle's coming back through.
I don't even hear it. It's so funny. I don't even notice. I mean, I hear it, but I don't even notice it.
All the shows I've done with you, I've never heard it until tonight.
No.
That's why.
That's the window. The window's wide open now, so.
Okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm not even knowing that it's going on until you mention it. What's going on with you, Kev? Any beer fest or any stuff coming out? Salmo, any events?
Oh boy, I don't know that I've had anything other than that trip to Michigan. Boy, after that, it's funny you were saying that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't have anything because I was on the way home from work today. I passed by the Hop Vine Brewing, and I thought, boy, I haven't even been there lately, and this stuff's in my backyard.
Hey, what's that new place that's opening up in Naperville that you sent me a link to it a long time ago, and I.
No, you know what? That wasn't Naperville. That was in Forest Park.
Oh, okay.
That's where I sent because that's because I'm even though we used to live there, but
That's right.
I'm still there enough because I stop there on my way to work sometimes, and the place looks nice from the outside, but I've never been, and I've never even looked to see, if it's any good or if it's reviews. But the place looks nice enough. Someday I'll stop there. I think it's called Exit Strategy. So it's ESB on the side.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming to the point now where there's so many breweries, they're popping up that I've never even heard of them now. It's kind of ridiculous. I know that Chris is like, but it is kind of crazy. I mean, because you were just saying how Michigan's pretty flooded, and it's hard for anyone to come in and try to, bring anything in new unless you're gonna really wow anybody. Well, it's kind of like that in Chicago too. I mean, just Chicago. There's a ton of them, and there's a lot in the suburbs now popping up. I just sent a text to Dan. There's an Emporium, the arcade beer place that just did the Back to the Future beer with Pipeworks. They are opening a location up in the Lake County.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, Tommy. Carrie's wandering around back there. So.
Hello.
Oh, she's going in. But yeah, no, that looks pretty cool. You got a lot of stuff going on here, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna say your neck of the woods is booming. Like I'm in the wrong area because there's actually nothing brewery wise going on anywhere near me except for Wild Onion at most.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing because Wild Onion is for the most part kind of.
I just don't go out of my way to get their stuff, but when I do have it, it's like this is a solid beer, and I don't, it's just nothing is above and beyond others. You know what I mean? It's an IPA is an IPA. Everyone's got one, and it's the most popular style in the country now, and if probably, I mean, it's in the craft beer world, it's the most popular style. If you're not killing it with hops, you're not. Nobody cares at this point. Which sucks because that's just how it is. It's the reality of it. But it's funny. I was just listening to something that was talking about how there's a lot of old styles of beer that are kind of going out, even in Europe. Like some of their styles are just dying off because they're kind of picking up on American style craft beers, doing IPAs and things like that, which is interesting. I don't know, has anyone heard of anyone like an American brewery opening overseas to kind of?
Oh, you mean besides Stone?
Yeah,
McKellar?
Yeah. But I mean, like completely on their own without already being big in the United States.
Oh yeah.
But saying
kind of. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Irish brewing scene, I think there are a number of Irish Americans that went to Ireland relatively early on in their kind of craft beer phase, which is really only hit in the last 5 years, and have opened up spots because they recognized, basically all that's left now is Guinness. Mm-hmm. There's the Guinness Brewing Company, and then maybe Murphy's, and then that's what's left after that. So there was a wave of American brewers that opened up craft breweries over there without opening up here first. I want to say that Italy there might be a couple.
They actually opened up over there before opening here.
Yeah, and they're not distributing here. They were like, you know what? I would love to live in Ireland. It's beautiful over there, and they don't have the scene here that we do. So wait. Go where there's. Okay, go ahead.
What makes that American then? Because an American opened it?
Yeah. I mean, that and maybe the styles that they're doing.
It could be the hop varieties that are being used, too, because they might not be able to get...
So American-style beers are opening up over there.
I mean, well, I guess it depends on... for example, I know in England there's an English brewer. Was it Great Heck Brewing, I want to say it is. It was very focused on American styles. And he's British, or, he's in the UK. The guy opened this place up, but he didn't start in the United States first, and he's gone out of his way to get American hops, varieties to get that place going, because there's just at the time there's nothing else out there like it, So I don't know if Great Heck's still going or not. I hope they are, but yeah, it happens for sure.
Well, like real ales are kind of even dying off in the UK. You know, like in England, it was a big thing, and I remember back when craft beer was just kind of in its infancy in the '90s. Here, they used to have a real ale festival in Chicago.
Yeah, we went. Didn't we
Night
go?
of, yeah, Night of Living Ales. They turned it into a day. They do a 2-session thing now, where it's just like naturally carbonated, beers. Nothing tagged with CO2 or anything like that. It's all either in metal or wooden casks.
Yeah.
But,
no, actually, that was one of the best parts of the Great Taste of the Midwest Festival too. Is they had an entire tent devoted to that nobody was touching, but it had some of the best beers of the festival there. Yeah, so that kind of thing is still around for sure.
It's still around, but it's actually dying in popularity. It's even in Europe or the UK. It's kind of The joke is, from what I was hearing, is it's like it's really a roll of the dice on what you're gonna get. You have no idea. If you can walk into a bar and say, what's good on the hand pull, it's like, I don't know, go across the street because we don't have anything today that's any good.
Right.
So I don't know. It's interesting because I remember when I lived in this city, there was a place called the Clark Street Ale House. I think it was like Chicago and Clark near that intersection, and great craft beer place.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Always has been, and they always had 1 or 2 beers on the hand pull.
Yeah.
And I always went for that. It was it's not like really cold. It's I forget what temperature they have them sit at, but it's pretty much room temperature, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 50s or high 50s, I think, is what
Yeah.
it is, or something like that.
Yeah, like 55, 60, something like that.
But you don't hear much about that anymore. They used to make such more of a big deal about that, 10 years ago, but nobody. I mean, do they even do that Real Ale Festival anymore?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up to be sure.
We get hand pull stuff all the time over here, but not necessarily real ale stuff.
Like I know Half Acre used to do Firkin Fridays. They would do a Firkin every Friday in their tap room they would do like a daisy cutter with or they actually did a nitro daisy cutter once, which was fucking awesome. But they they'll tweak a little bit of one of their standard beers just to kind of experiment, and for the most part they're usually pretty good. So I don't know. Oh, we lose.
You guys don't. So what you're saying is a lot of the breweries aren't doing that over there at all?
I don't see it very much. I mean, no.
I don't think Bell's does, but Arcadia's always had something on hand pull. They'll have some, and they're doing stuff like weird stuff like that, like Half Acre is, but nothing that blows your mind like Half Acre. I mean, they'll have like Whitson with I don't know, hopped or something silly. It's okay. We've told them before you need to put that on pineapple because it's good. But they'll do some wacky stuff. Trying to think who else has Firkins. Every time we go somewhere, they've got a lot of bars, craft beer bars, or bars in general that have craft beer will have Firkins hand pull stuff.
I can see Arcadia doing that because they seem like that's their style. I would think like you just walk in there and you would almost expect them to have that. Yeah,
right.
Just have that feel. I've only been at the original location.
Yep.
I've never been to the newer one, so that's.
Yeah, I don't even think the newer one has it. Dark Horse doesn't. I don't think Bell's doesn't. I don't think Founders might have one. I don't remember. Hopcat, I want to say has 1 or 2 in Grand Rapids. Yeah, and to me, I'm not a big fan of them. I will drink them occasionally if it sounds interesting, but like I said, Arcadia, when you put a wheat beer on Firkin, to me that's just stupid. Because wheat beers to me aren't good warm at all. I mean, it's like drinking warm milk, not hot milk, or like sat out all night and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink this in the morning. You just drink it. To me, as wheat beers, that's the one style that probably shouldn't be, warm and not carbonated at all. It's just, I don't know. They've done that a couple times. They're like, "Yeah, we got Whitson on the Firkin." I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'll drink something else." I'm not going there because I tried it once before and it was just like, you might as well just took a can of it, shook it up, sprayed it all over the place, and let me drink what was ever left over after it sat out at a NASCAR race or something. I'm like, Jesus. So, but yeah, we got several of them, so it's kind of cool.
That is cool. I gotta do a little research and try to find some more places in Michigan that do that.
Yeah, Greenbush doesn't, I don't think, that I know of. I don't think the Tapestry doesn't, that I'm pretty sure. You gotta have a little bit of a system there, I think, to do that. But there are some that do it. I mean, it's not like when I walk in and I see it, I'm like shocked because I see it a lot. So
does Founders? I
can't remember.
I feel like I've seen that.
I think they might, but I can't remember. I don't go up to Founders maybe once a year, and so I don't. Excuse me, I don't remember.
Because
do you remember, Mike, the time we went to Two Brothers and we had the Cain and Evil? We had one version, the regular version, and we had another one that was the.
Yes, that was your birthday.
Yeah, that was like 8 years ago, so that was a long time ago. But I remember that being fun. I remember it being interesting to have the beer side by side with its regular version.
Yeah, I remember you purposely getting the other one just for the sole purpose of that.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm looking at the Founders tap room right now.
I am too. It doesn't look like it.
Dirty Bastard Porter. I swear I've seen something on Hand Pull or Nitro. Maybe it was
Nitro Rubius.
Yeah, that's
the thing is I was just somewhere. Where was I at? And they had Nitro Rubius. I just was at a bar. So this is maybe they popped up a couple kegs and sent them out like that. I'm not. Where was I just at? And they had Nitrous Rubius.
I almost always see Devil Dancer on tap at their tap room. Is that like a year round now? Because I remember that used to be.
I don't think so either. No.
I feel like I see that all the time at their.
It's a 4th of July beer. So.
Yeah, but it's on tap now.
Well, I don't think a lot of people necessarily like it. Yeah, June.
It's a little.
It's
boozy.
It's a big damn beer. It's 12%.
I like that one. That one, it's not harsh like some 12% double IPAs are. I like that one. I don't know, for such a strong beer, I think it does a good job.
It's 112 IBUs. That's intense.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like after 100 IBUs, you stop sensing the bitterness anymore. Right. So it's like more bitter than it needs to be.
Out of the 25 or so beers on tap at Founders right now, that is the strongest beer.
That does not surprise me.
That Ridiculous is so good.
Backwards Bastard is a close second at 11.6.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be close.
Yeah, that's a good beer though, and that's actually a beer I think you could sit on, and Devil Dancer is, and that you could sit on and let that thing age. I've never done that, but I just don't think people are either one really into it for whatever reason, and two, you're not going to Founders and grabbing a couple glasses of Devil Dancer and then driving home for sure.
That's true.
No, that's you've made it a commitment or a cab call at that point.
So their app says it's available. Devil Dancer is available in June, yet they have it on tap now at the tap room.
Right. Well, Oberon was available almost until October. If you want to go that. I mean, it's same kind of shift of months is what I'm getting at, I guess, because Oberon's available like in April or March or something like that, and it's available all the way to almost the end of September, almost Oktoberfest season. So.
Wait, do they build Devil Dancer as a triple IPA, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
It's basically, I guess, a 120.
Yeah, yeah, that's where you're kind of getting that crossover of the impy IPAs and the barley wines, or at least the American style barley wines, because they kind of cross over. Like if you sit on a 120, it basically becomes a barley wine. Yeah.
Speaking of barley wines,
oh boy,
do we want to do that as our style next week, or what do we think we're gonna do?
That's not a bad idea. I got a few hanging out here that I wouldn't mind trying next week.
I've got one on the pike already. So sure.
Too bad Veterans Day isn't on Thursday. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Chris is like, I want to live. I want to live.
I just looked that up. I'm like, oh.
Is Veterans Day Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm man, I love me a good barley wine, so I'm up for that if you guys are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Sweet, barley wines it is. All right, we're past 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna start shutting down. So thank you guys for joining as always. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. As far as I know, let me check my calendar to make sure I've got nothing else going on. But let's plan on it. The 11th, Veterans Day. We'll see you guys with some barley wines.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Cheers. Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
All right, cheers, guys.